Gum Chef in the chat for that one.
Yeah, I thought some of you might like to know a little bit more about our drummer.
So, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and get myself embedded on Wowhead. We are now 20 minutes into the stream. I'll do a slash marker. Oh, that's spelled incorrectly. There we go, marker has been set. So, where are my embed commands? And then we'll get started. So, blog post has got it. Follow along on Twitch and join the weekly game time giveaway. So, that should be done. Head back to Wowhead on Firefox and refresh. It's on the blog post, and now on the home page should also be the same.
I got the best deals anywhere.
I think I'll swap that around.
A mind is a terrible, terrible thing to waste.
So who was that following? Where's my dashboard? Missing the followers. Linkstorm followed. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome, welcome. Doing good, glad to hear it. Trying to break 200k gold for the first time today, so let's see if it's possible. A small amount for you guys, but for lazy me, it's okay. Hey, 200,000 gold is a really good milestone to get to. It's certainly a big number for people who are starting out.
Hey, how you doing?
Or just taking things a bit slower. And once you've got to that kind of number, it does make it a lot easier to get higher again. As I always say, once you get your first million, your second million is much easier.
Ah, potential customer.
It all started like that, yeah, exactly. Any advice on how to get flying in the new expansion besides paying someone to fly me around? In the new expansion, as in Legion or Battle for Azeroth, Caesar? Because you won't be able to grind it out in Battle for Azeroth. There's going to be a time-gated situation. And Legion, yeah, so you just got to get your reputations, I guess, which can take a little while. There's not really any system in place where you can just farm for hours and tick it off. There is a guide on Wowhead though, to kind of guide you through things to do. Pathfinder Wowhead. So you type in your character and realm, and it gives you a list of the things that you have done already and what you need to do to finish off your flying achievements. Yeah, as Roshin said, if you are entering in for the giveaway, which we'll be announcing the winner of after the Wowhead section, you do need to follow the stream as well. If you're not following, the winner will be re-rolled and somebody else will be selected. Is there a certain group using engineering that you can recommend crafting besides mounts? Perkin, I would recommend crafting a lot of things from engineering, like your repair bots and your old school transmog. There's lots of pets and toys you can craft as well, which are always good fun. How's it going, Persephone? You haven't missed anything just yet. We've just embedded onto Wowhead before we get started chatting through the blog this week. Soul Maestro, how's it going? Good to see you. Blizzard broke the EU WoW tokens. You can buy them from the in-game shop, but you can't put them in the auction house or buy any from the auction house with gold. Interesting. That doesn't sound good.
Hey, how you doing?
Doesn't sound good at all. What are the price of the tokens at the moment, actually? Let's have a look in game. On EU. We'll hide Firefox for a second. 361k. But people aren't able to list them on the auction house at the moment, interestingly. Sounds a bit strange. It's fixed already. Okay, that's good. I guess there must have been a minor hiccup there. Good thing I didn't miss anything. I don't actually want to read anything. I need you to read it to me while I make gold. Exactly, Persephone. Time is money, of course. You can get somebody to read out a blog for you. That makes sense.
I know a buyer when I see one.
335k last night. That's a bit of a spike. Just fixed it a minute ago. Okay, that's good. Good that it's been fixed. Do you recommend maxing out Battle.net balance or hit gold cap with still keeping enough gold to keep markets going? A lot of people do advise maxing out your Battle.net Blizzard balance, just as kind of an inflation buster. And then once you've done that, whatever else you do after that is kind of a bonus. A friend linked me to Towley's post on the WoW Reddit and I got 3 paragraphs in and I was like, read it to me. I actually need to read that, to be honest. I saw it posted but I didn't have a read through it. Oh my goodness, Sean coming in with the 300 bits. Thank you so much for the support. Happy Saturday to you, Sean. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us and thank you so much for the bits. Hey, what's up, Spady? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. That's what I was thinking. I'm about 1.2 million with about 140 on Battle.net and just trying to figure out what I want to focus on. Yeah, it's kind of like when people talk about real world finances, they'll say have kind of a buffer of savings or like emergency situations, so to speak, and maxing out your Battle.net Blizzard balance is that kind of same idea. It's like you fill it up. You've spent the gold with what it's worth now before the gold value increases, and you can use that Battle.net balance for anything else that you want to use in the future. So I was going to do something. Oh no, I'll do that later, that's fine. Got to 2 million in sales today, but only like 200k profit. That's still not too bad, Tomathas. Sounds like you're making lots of revenue, which is good. 200k to gold cap, it might happen tonight, so excited. Well, pre-congratulations, Persephone. Hopefully you do make it there. Is that the first time you've hit gold cap? How's it going, Cat Lady? Thanks for joining us. Managed to get Holiday on first week of BFA release. Do you think it's worth to go with my herbalist mining, alt, and just farm and sell those? It's certainly an option, Count AI. I'm not going to be personally focusing any time on gathering though. I'll just be crafting stuff that other people gather. What's up, Kolek? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Saturday to you. My gold is 1.2 million with no Battle.net balance. Things are slowing down for me. Still making some small sales. Yeah, well that's all to come for you then, Sean. Doesn't necessarily have to happen overnight. I'm a bit confused about the profession progress when pre-patch comes. Do you have to start from scratch or can you do the different expansions leveling whenever you want? It's the second thing you said there, Perkin. You can opt into the old school stuff, and we'll be talking a little bit about professions in the pre-patch when we get to the blog here. Gold cap from gold cap will never be gold cap. Don't even know what tune to main. Well, those are some decisions for you to make. It's going to make getting me 12 million by BFA a lot easier. I won't buy the Longboy mount until I have 12 million. That's fair enough. It's good to have some boundaries there. Good to be here, though I'm very salty at myself. I took a break from WoW but forgot to log in to clear out my mail. Everything I'd put on the auction house from last month expired. Oh, that's not good, Kolik. Was it in the last 7 days that it expired though? If it is, you can make a ticket with Blizzard and get things restored to your mailbox. I've done that half a dozen times now, but it has to be done ASAP. If it's more than 7 days ago, it's not gonna be possible to restore anything. So about that time, it's 6:30, running late. We'll get started with the WoW Economy weekly wrap up here. Before we start though, there is a giveaway active. We'll be picking a winner at the end of the Wowhead section, probably in about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes time. So do stick around as we talk through the blog, ask your questions, pose your thoughts, share your feedback. To win 30 days of WoW game time, all you have to do is type the word goblin in my stream chat and follow the stream. And as I say, we'll be picking a winner here shortly. If you are listening on the Wowhead homepage or the blog post itself, I do appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. If you would like to get involved, do feel free to click through into the stream and say hello. But this is the 47th edition of the WoW Economy Weekly Wrap-Up, and this week we're looking at the BFA 8.0 pre-patch, which arrives next week, of course. Announcements were shared, was that yesterday or the day before now? Kind of a short time frame between it being announced and going live. We're looking at some gold making plans and the community for the new expansion. Some goblin routines, maybe in the form of habits. And a new farming compendium, which has been shared on the WoW Economy subreddit. Which is kind of mind-blowing, the amount of information in there. If you are new to the blog post or new to the series, you can revisit all of my previous posts on wowhead.com with the economy tag. Oh, let me update my Wowhead command
when I see one.
on the stream as well, because that's out of date. That one submitted. So if you'd like to read along with me, you can click the link in the chat to get to the Wowhead post. But yeah, for those of you guys who are new to the stream or new to the blogs, my name is Gumdrops. I'm the lead moderator for the WoW Economy subreddit and the accompanying Discord server, which is now got 31,500 members on Discord. We have almost 52,000 subscribers on Reddit, which is absolutely insane. We're still growing very, very strongly, and I can imagine we'll be getting more traffic and more people joining as BFA launches, with people returning to the game and looking to get into gold making. I'm also the support manager for Trade Skill Master, the auction house add-on suite, which has just recently entered open beta testing for version 4, which will be testing out on a stream here after the Wowhead section. Happy to answer any questions you guys might have or demonstrate things that you'd like to check out. In this blog series, I cover and showcase the interesting topics and discussions that's been going on over the past week in the gold making community, some things that you might have missed or stuff that you might be interested in checking out for the first time if you're brand new to gold making and looking to get started. I don't do traditional guides, but all of my blogs are just kind of links to further reading with some commentary and opinions of my own, because I tend to look at the bigger picture of gold making rather than saying step 1 do this, step 2 do that, because that doesn't apply to everybody. So, of course, the first section of the blog this week, the Battle for Azeroth pre-patch, will arrive on July 17th for NA servers and 18th for EU, just as we expected. A lot of speculation regarding release date for this, but it has been announced that it's arriving this coming reset, so there's not long left to get everything done that you want to do before the pre-patch arrives. There are a ton of changes, but the most important for gold makers are the removal of first aid as a profession and the restructuring of the profession skill system. And obviously something that I didn't add in here is that the removal of the gold missions from the order halls. So if you are utilizing gold missions, they are going to be removed when the pre-patch arrives. So you've got a few days left to make the most of those. Reactivated just in time to get my professions up. Sounds good, King Dex. Perfect timing. Yeah, let's see some gums feels and some Bible thumps in chat for the gold missions. Rest in peace. I was saying they were being cut in half, not removed. They're all pretty much removed on a PTR and on the beta. There's no indication that they're gonna stick around.
I got what you need.
Pronzi and Roshin cheering. I like it. Missions are going pre-patch. That's what the indication is so far. That gold missions are taking a hit.
I got the
And they'll
best
be
deals
returning
anywhere.
in Battle for Azeroth. Hazel made a video about the gold missions being cut in half and an added video. Okay, was that published recently? Because I haven't caught up with her latest couple of videos. She's posted an 8.0 nerfs video
The greatest trade prince
yesterday.
on Azeroth. Me.
It was released yesterday. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Cowlin coming in with a brand new sub. Welcome to the Goblin Club. Thank you so much for the support. I see some goblins in the chat. For Cowlin, much appreciated. Thank you for your support. Hope you're doing well today. What's up, Greasy Jingles as well? She could have outdated data, but it's good to know either way for sure. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure myself, but that's kind of all the information I've been seeing in the community. So gold missions have been removed at the pre-patch, just like they were in the transition from Draenor to Legion. The bonus of followers to World Quest were nerfed. Yeah, this is something that is discussed in the blog. But before all that, obviously the biggest change, as King Dex has just done to reactivate his accounts to get his professions up, the restructuring of the profession system is going to be arriving in the pre-patch. So instead of having 1 to 900 or 1 to 800, as we've discussed many times now, it's now all separated out into the individual old expansions. So Classic goes up to 300 skill points, Outland, Northrend, Cataclysm and Pandaria goes up to 75. Draenor has 100 skill points, and then Battle for Azeroth has 150 skill points. So if you do not have 800 skill points today, or when the pre-patch goes live, you'll only get whatever skill points you have kind of being assigned to your old expansion skill points. So if you only have 300 skill points, you're only going to get classic points. If you have 700 skill points, you'll get everything up to Draenor, up to and including Draenor, and then 800 skill points, obviously you get all of your Legion stuff as well. So if you do not want to level your professions using Outland, Northrend, Cataclysm or Pandaria crafts, you should level your stuff up now using your Draenor and Legion catch-up mechanics, because it's going to be pretty expensive to level any professions after next week, because you'll need to find, farm or buy the materials from older expansions in order to get your skill points up. So as we've been saying every stream for the past 2 or 3 months now, perfect timing to get your professions leveled, because after next week, if you want to level up your classic skill points, you have to craft classic recipes from your professions. But with that said, this will provide a return of the profession kit market, whereby you sell a package of materials to a player looking to level a specific area of their profession, and naturally you're going to sell this at a slight markup. But the gist of the profession kit is you collect all of the materials to level, say for example Northrend blacksmithing, in one package that you could trade to a player, and you would charge a fixed flat fee for all of those materials and give them instructions on how to level up from 1 to 75 with Northrend crafting. Or you could do a kind of a bundle with Outland and Pandaria all through each old expansion, level 1 to 75 each one, and charge a premium for that. It was a big thing in Pandaria, and earlier there were people sharing spreadsheets and things like that of which materials to collect and tracking how much you're paying for the mats and how much you're selling the mats for. So it'd be good to see those kind of non-auction house markets returning. Want to be cheaper to level 7 to 800 during pre-patch because Draenor Legion will be 100 points together. They're not 100 points together, they're just 100 points for each expansion. So Outland goes up to 75, Northrend goes up to 75, Cataclysm etc. goes up to 75. Draenor has 100 points and Legion has 100 points. So apologies if that wasn't super clear in the structure of that, but each of these expansion has this many points. The bonus of 50 gold will be 10 gold now, yeah, so that has been nerfed, and we'll be getting to that in just a second. In terms of Battle for Azeroth professions, Singing Sunflower, probably one of the most annoying pets in the game when you're standing at the auction house, but Singing Sunflower on Reddit
Thanks. I owe you one.
Thanks
put together,
for all that you do
oh my goodness,
and the information you provide.
Jules25, thank you so much for the kind words, super duper appreciated, and the 4-month resub. Thank you for your continued support, very generous of you. Let's see some more Goblin emotes in the chat. For Jules, welcome back to the Goblin Club. As I say, it's very much appreciated. Glad you could join us today. Does the 800 skill profession for Legion Master of All get changed? Are you talking about the achievement, Tomathos? I'm not sure about that. I don't know if that's going to be a, what do you call it, a feat of strength, or gets changed otherwise. Oh yeah, I need to do an @ here on Discord as well. Late ping. We're live now. There we go. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Tomathos. Interesting question. Maybe we'll find out today at some point. So yeah, Singing Sunflower on Reddit put together some great overviews of the professions with a gold making angle. There's too much to copy and format for Wowhead, and it would be kind of unfair to just kind of lift it all from Reddit, because there's a lot of work gone into all of these 4 posts regarding gathering professions, alchemy, inscription, enchanting, jewel crafting, blacksmithing, leatherworking, tailoring, and engineering. So just taking a look at alchemy and inscription enchanting, you can head on to Reddit. And Singing Sunflower over this past week has put together these massive posts that indicates where to get the recipes, what they do, and where you get the different ranks, what you can craft, all the kind of information you will need for all of your professions. So definitely recommend checking these out as a kind of a foundation to your professions. Super duper useful to go through and read up on what you could be expecting to do regarding which reputations you're going to have to do, what kind of materials each of these things need, kind of a really decent foundation, as I say, for your professions in BFA. A lot of this stuff's been highly upvoted. That was the alchemy, inscription, enchanting. Blacksmithing, leatherworking, tailoring is a good one as well. All the different ranks, all the different materials you might need, what the different crafts do, and where to get them from. So yeah, definitely recommend checking out these links on Reddit if you haven't already. Tons of cool information. Got 5 left, so I'm working overtime, that's fair enough. Just counting on getting back to some lovely new rep catch-up mechanics. I don't know whether that's going to be a thing. Obviously with the contracts from Inscription, it'll be a little bit of a bonus. Hey, what's up, Serafina? Good to see you, thanks for tuning in. I was half listening earlier. Did you mention a website where you check what pre-patch things you've done and still need to complete? It's not a pre-patch link, Kolik. It's for Draenor pathfinding and Legion pathfinding for your flying achievements.
Potential customer.
But yeah, it'd be nice if there was a website that kind of tracked what you have and have not done for your pre-patch and BFA tasks. But I'm not aware of anything like that. How's it going, Stanza? Thanks for tuning in. The Souljack and Chris Angus, how are you guys doing? Trick Elite, Azaric as well, Pure Sugar. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's Blizzard, there will be catch-up mechanics, that's true. There's actually a spreadsheet, let me see if I can find it, that would be appreciated, Persephone. I'm sure a lot of people hanging out today would like to see that. Since the pre-patch is around the corner, you only need to reach 700 to level with the Legion mats, right? Yeah, that's right. You can level from level 1 with Legion content, that's the catch-up mechanic. You don't necessarily need to start doing Legion stuff when you get to 700. So, Kubatrix on Reddit as well had a bit of an ad hoc collection of observations and bits and pieces of information that they wanted to share with everybody. As Cat was saying earlier, the Will Quest reward follower gear has been changed. The legendary items that used to include the chance of an artifact power token now just give gold or autohaul resources. The gear that gave gold has also been nerfed. The legendary epic ones now only give you 10 gold each instead of 100. So that is kind of a big nerf because, as I said at the bottom here, completing world quests in Legion is still going to be the primary driver of maintaining your class autohauls if you were inclined to do that. But with the removal of gold rewards from the missions and the reduction of gold rewarded from the world quests and from the follower equipment bonuses, it hardly really seems worth the time in my opinion. But this is good though, as the development team have always said, they don't want to have any situations where players feel compelled to go back and complete or participate in old content for economic purposes. And that's why they also nerfed things in the past like your garrison gold missions and the rate at which you can acquire gold by doing your Cataclysm raid clears, which was kind of the old go-to starter gold making situation before they introduced the gold missions. So, as Cat said, gold follower mission or follower reward gear is now nerfed from 100 gold down to 10 gold each. Follower gear has retained their live vendor price. So back in Draenor, they nerfed the follower gear down to 15 copper, but so far that hasn't been done on the Legion follower gear, which is still has a few gold in value from the vendor. World Quest and Legion still seem to reward gold, but from the screenshots that they shared, which is linked at the top, they've also been nerfed quite a bit. They're no longer giving several hundred gold each, but some of them give a maximum of 100 gold per world quest, and that's normally the world bosses. Nether shards are unchanged, including the treasure cave world quest. Checked on them for gear tokens, easy source the crystals. Just wanted to confirm that NPC was still there, which she is. So you can still purchase the baleful or whatever kind of gear it is with your nether shards and generate crystals. All artifact power tokens are grey vendor trash now, so if you do acquire any of those, you can simply vendor them. You can still vendor them now today on live, but they will become grey vendor quality and will probably get automatically vendored if you've got certain add-ons installed. You can't zone into Ashran at all on the beta or on the PTR. So a lot of people were hoping that Ashran would be just changed into a normal zone like Wintergrasp or Toberad, but on the beta if you try to zone in you get teleported to your faction's entrance almost immediately. So this is kind of disappointing. You can't even access the NPCs that are inside Ashran, and Ashran will be temporarily retired for a period of time. We don't know when it's going to come back, they haven't shared any specifics on that, but what they have shared is that Ashran will be returning as part of a epic battleground group, so being able to queue for Isle of Conquest, Ashran and Altrak Valley all in the same queue. But until that happens, you won't be able to access Ashran whatsoever. What about follower legendaries? Yeah, so the gold you receive from completing a world quest has been nerfed down from 50 gold down to 10 gold. Or down from 100 gold down to 10 gold. So it's very different numbers. But But yeah, disabled all the gold missions as well. It's too much to hope they'd change them to order haul resources. So there's no missions whatsoever now that reward gold, and they didn't change it to reward order haul resources, which is what made the garrison in Draenor worthwhile doing, because it was self-sustainable. Whereas with the Legion class order haul, you do actually have to go out and complete world quests and play the game in that old content in order to carry on using the class order haul. So that's why I don't personally think the order hauls are going to be used en masse. There may be some people who leave some characters at 110 to do their kind of daily complete one world quest for free for the Bloods of Sargeras, but I don't think it's going to be kind of a similar situation as Draenor garrisons were or are today. But you can check out a full overview of what's changing in patch 8.0 arriving next week. On Wowhead they've got a really fantastic overview of what's been added, what's been removed, all the class tuning and all the changes, all the scenarios that have been introduced as part of the pre-patch. So final section, or final thought on this section, is a quick reminder from Diamount. You got to go and grab your Steelbound Harness mount recipe, the Felcore Hound Harness from Nighthold. It is a 100% drop chance if you're a blacksmith. Not sure if the drop rate is going to change, but it will obviously take a while to solo, and it's doubtful you'll have people running Nighthold at least for a while after BFA launches. And as an added bonus, do it on a character who can instantly complete world quests, so you don't have to farm your Bloods of Sargeras as much, which is what we were just saying about the class order haul. And as always, when there's less supply of a material, the demand for the mount or whatever crafted item that requires those materials, the price is going to go up. And when there's less supply but the demand increases, which is
I got what you need.
what a lot of people are banking on. The drop rate wasn't 100% exactly, quite close. There used to be blacksmiths in the raid that didn't get the recipe. Okay, I thought it dropped. If there was a blacksmith in the raid, I thought it dropped the recipe. So maybe it's kind of a 100% drop rate if there's a blacksmith in a group. Maybe that's the situation. Can Death Knight instant world quests? I'm not sure actually, Agent Sardan. I don't have a Death Knight that does world quests. How's it going? Not like that. Good to see you. Blame Insane as well. What's up? How's it going? Maybe they changed it, but I remember when it just came out it wasn't. Yeah, I remember watching people streaming Nighthold on NA servers when it was opened for the first time and discussing, trying to find out how it dropped. DK can do instant thing, that's good. That's good to know. So, before we start the second section, another quick reminder guys, there is a giveaway active on the stream right now. If you are listening on the Wowhead blog, on the homepage, do appreciate it. Feel free to get involved and click through into the stream. And type the word Goblin in my stream chat for your chance to win 30 days of WoW game time. Don't forget to follow the stream as well. If you're not following, I will be re-rolling for somebody else to win. How many entries do we have so far? We have 79 entries. 82 entries now. See if we get to 100 by the end of the blog here. So, second section of the blog, we're talking about plans for Battle for Azeroth launching. Mr. Bragg.
The greatest trade prince
Oh my goodness.
on Azeroth. Me.
Wolven Hunt coming in with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the support and welcome to the Goblin Club. I see some Gums Prime and some Goblin emotes in the chat for Wolven Hunt. Glad you could join us today and thank you so much for the support. Happy Saturday to you.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Maybe it will go to someone who doesn't have an active sub and it'll make their account playable till BFA exactly. 30 days till BFA. Nice, that's a good point, Persephone. If somebody's interested in returning to the game and checking out the pre-patch, that'd be good timing.
You break it, you buy it.
How's it going, Vada64? Thanks for joining us today. So, second section, as I said, Battle for Azeroth plans as the expansion Oh my goodness.
Prince on Azeroth.
Getting interrupted
Me.
by all of you wonderfully generous people. Sad Panda's coming in with a Twitch Prime sub as well. Thank you for the support. Another round of goblins in the chat, please, to welcome Sad Pandas to the Goblin Club. If you guys who've just subscribed today have not already linked your Discord account with Twitch, and you join the WoW Economy Discord server, you will get invited automatically to the
have a deal for you.
private Goblin Club channel, where I generally hang out. Keep going, do not let them talk. No, that would be mean. We'll never get to announce the winner at that rate. But yeah, thank you so much for the support today, guys. It's been fantastic already. So, maybe third time's the charm. Battle for Azeroth plans when the expansion launches. A lot of the community has been chatting about what they plan on doing for the first couple of weeks as the expansion launches, and what their priorities and expectations of what to focus on while playing the new expansion. Breg, of course, sharing his plans on YouTube with his strategies. Kind of a bad timing for Breg personally. He's got some exams in university to finish up when the expansion releases. He's probably not going to be able to go as crazy as he wanted to with regards to gold making.
The best deals anywhere.
But this kind of video prompted more discussion in the community on Reddit and Discord, with initial plans heading into BFA, with lots of people sharing that they'll be prioritizing gold making for the first time, like max DPS on Reddit. Let's switch up the music here one more time. There we go. So max DPS on Reddit has said, it's funny you say this because there'll be first expansion that they're actually looking forward to in the sense of enjoying the game. Max DPS used to guild master or be a guild master of a top rating guild, and even achieved the first warrior level 90 in Pandaria, but was completely burning themselves out when they played like that back then. So focusing on gold making is what they want to do this time, and they're stoked to work towards getting a long boy, Auction House mount, and being able to chill in the Grizzly Hills and handle all of the operations. So I think that's pretty interesting. The Battle for Azeroth is going to start getting some people interested in gold making and focusing on gold making primarily for the first time. As the community starts growing, or not as the community starts growing, but while the community still continues to grow, it's interesting to see people kind of take a step back from raiding or PvP or anything like that and just focus on the gold making side of the game, which I think is really cool. How's it going, Juki and Freak89? Thank you guys for tuning in today. Baloo400 as well. Let's see some Gumzio in the chat. All the newcomers. If you're listening for the first time, I really do appreciate it. Should I not snipe gear right now? I probably wouldn't advise picking up any raid gear, because it's not going to be worth anything in a few weeks. What's up, Drethan? Good to see you. Rainy, or Rainry, won't be spending too much time at the auction house in terms of plans for Battle for Azeroth. They normally focus on getting top 3 characters to level cap and getting their auto haul or time gated quest rolling, which I'm sure will be making a return in BFA with the mission table. It gives them some more flexibility while the market settles. They played the auction house race at the bottom at the start of Wrath of the Lich King, and they've never felt the urge to stare at pricing spreadsheets again. So it's definitely going to be volatile at the auction house at the start of the expansion, but I think that's when people enjoy making some crazy sales and making some big profits. Well, it's possible to do so. I certainly will be participating in that. But it's worth keeping in mind that raids won't open for something like 6 weeks after launch, so there's plenty of time to go out and farm. But what to farm is always the question, as Rainry said. In the last 2 expansions it was fishing with the insane grind, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad this time around, so they'll be probably focusing on learning all of the good herbalism spots. So as people were asking at the start of the stream, is it going to be worth just picking up gathering professions like herbalism and mining, and just going out and farming stuff? It certainly will be, but if you're not into farming, you don't have to do that to make gold. You can participate in some crafting and just general flipping, buying and selling stuff on the auction house as these new items start becoming more available. Besides, they've been in full-on gold-making mode ever since news of the mount drop, so it'll be nice to be able to go back to enjoying the game. I think a lot of people are also in the same position. As soon as the 5 million gold Longboy dinosaur mount was announced, a lot of people said, okay, this is it, I now need to make 5 million gold in order to get this mount. Obviously it's not good timing to start doing that, or at least to immediately make 5 million gold. But I think a lot of people are expecting and hoping to be making a lot of gold at the launch of the expansion. Even though it's rigged, I will win. Yeah, Dragon Enforcer. That's what you've got to say. In order to win the giveaway, you've got to also say that you're going to win it or claim that it's rigged. That's what's happened the last few times. How's it going, Microsoft? Good to see you. Wolverhound's going to buy the mount straight away. Great way to get the herbs and ore up on the auction house while you'll be out farming like crazy for the first 2 days. Yeah, that's a good point actually. If you are inclined to go out and just farm everything at the start of the expansion, if you've got the auction house mount, you're going to be posting your stuff as you're farming it, so you're immediately listing all of your stuff available for sale. What's up, Gullion? Thanks for tuning in today. Morgan as well, thanks for stopping by. If I add WoW token to the Blizzard balance, that's worth around 15 euros. Yeah, that's exactly right, Pure Sugar. At least it looks like I'll only miss 1 tier with those raid opening times. Yeah, that's fair enough, Miss Onkit. Give you a chance to come back. So as we've discussed a few times on the stream, my own plans are basically going to match those of lots of other people, and maybe even including yourself. I'm going to be leveling my main character, my rogue, to max level and participate in as much of the profession activities as possible for alchemy and engineering. Then I'll be picking another character and repeat that process. Once I have 2 characters and 4 professions under my belt, it'll be time to level more alts and professions, but it'll most likely be a round-robin system of dedicated playtime rather than one character after the other in quick succession. So once I've done 2 characters, I'll probably just play all of my other characters an equal amount of time to get them all leveled and prepared at the same pace, rather than doing one after the other. And as Greg mentioned, and what some of you guys have mentioned, I'll also be immediately purchasing the Bootosaur Longboy mount because it simply has to be done. I think that's a lot of people's priorities. Just Matty says, if I'm say 730 dual crafting, will my dual crafting be complete other than the Legion section, or it will be reset? It's going to be complete other than Legion, just Matty. You don't have to worry about that. How's it going, Marsbat? Thanks for tuning in. Everyone knows it's rigged for me to win every 2 weeks, and that's this week. Yeah, Persephone. It's gonna be rigged again. Will you be gathering too? No, I will not be gathering, Pom Hum. That's not my priority. I don't enjoy farming, so I'm not gonna subject myself to that. Hey, what's up, Meriki? Happy Saturday to you. Hope you're doing well. You're going to be multi-boxing 10 to 15 plus accounts on release, and I'm just going to hard farm for 1 week, not level at all. That's a pretty bold strategy, Chris Angus. Going to be supplying your server's auction house. Are you on a high pop server or are you on a low pop server? That's messed up, but alright, yeah. How often do you do these kind of streams? So my weekly Wowhead section or Wowhead blog post goes up every Saturday. I talk through it shortly after publication, but I have 2 other streams during the week on Tuesdays and Thursdays where I also do gold making Q&A and TSM support, which will be happening after the Wowhead section as well, just as kind of a continuing the stream. This stream has the least delay I've ever seen. You just caught me very, very luckily there, Donald. It's normally I'm at least 5 minutes behind on chat. But yeah, you'll get used to that. Got around 400 bloods of Sargeras. Should I drop them on the auction house before the 8.0? Can I keep them after the pre-patch? You can certainly keep them, Pure Sugar. I think a lot of people are investing in the mounts and pets and toys that you can craft with them. Gummy's caught up with chat. Someone starts spamming. No, not at all, Brent. You guys are too mean. I heard you do multi-boxing. Will you ever stream it? I have done in the past S&D help. but unfortunately I don't have time for multi-boxing anymore, and I have actually just deactivated my multi-boxing accounts. Can you tell me about Elixir Boost Potion? Is the price going up? What do you think to buy it now? If you can buy for a cheap price, Bonzo, I'd certainly suggest it. If you've got the capital to invest in that. But I wouldn't suggest it if you've only got a few 100,000 gold. You may be only able to buy 1 or 2, and that would tie up all of your capital. What profession should I have for Druid? Any profession that you don't already have, or if you like farming, you can certainly put on herbalism or mining. So, discussion point for this section. We didn't talk about the discussion point in the last one, but I think we discussed that part to death. What will you be focusing on in Battle for Azeroth? You guys are already chatting about that anyway. How many characters will you be leveling? Chris Angus is doing 15 at the same time. Persephone's doing some multi-boxing as well, I thought I caught earlier. Which profession will you pick up first? So this will be an interesting one. Normally you guys are asking me which profession to go with, but I want to ask you guys which profession you're going to go with first. Which will be your priority. And don't say whichever I'm doing. Let's see how many of you have been listening to the stream. I was going to do some farming at the release, but school starts the day before, so I'm not going to have time to farming and leveling all. So that's fair enough. I think that's the same with Breg. A little bit of a different, or a little bit of bad timing. Brent says all of them. I like the sound of that. Dual crafting, blacksmithing for racks. Archbow, enchanting alchemy, interesting. Dual crafting, inscription, tailoring, enchanting engineer. Right 1-2's leveling 24 characters on 2 accounts, very nice. Leatherworking for INE7. First aid for Jack. I think you're a little bit on the wrong expansion there, Jack. Herb and alchemy. Tailoring and enchanting for Marsba. How's it going, Hellrain? Thanks for tuning in today. Skinning and something else here, Sean. Maybe focusing on the farming side of things. Alchemy for Elau. Enchanting alchemy on main and herb mining on alt. So a combination of both types of professions is good. Chris Angus is going 10 times Druid multi-box herb mining, then I'm going to either sell raw or invest it all into inscription alchemy. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Herb inscription for contracts at first and more into tailoring. Nice choice there, Dragon Enforcer. I'm going to be doing inscription pretty early on too. Enchanting first because my goal is to take advantage of the people who don't know about the scrapper and get cheap mats. Yeah, I guess we'll keep the scrapper on the down low, but yeah, we've discussed the scrapper a lot, and I don't think it's going to have such a dramatic impact on the lowering of the value of enchanting mats. If anything, I believe it's going to increase the value of enchanting mats, because enchants are still in the game, they're still a thing, so therefore we still need enchanting mats. There's just going to be less items to disenchant as people scrap things, and therefore the price of the enchanting materials will likely be a little bit higher than what they were in Legion. At the same time, other materials are probably going to settle a little bit lower, as we discussed last week, because you are going to be able to acquire regular crafting regions or materials from your mission table as part of a reward. So it's not going to be the same extent as what it used to be in Draenor, where anybody can just supply themselves with constant materials from the garrison. But it's going to be a little bit better in terms of self-sufficiency, and people are probably just going to dump those items on the auction house if they're not interested in actually using them, and therefore there's going to be a little bit of a slightly higher supply of those items outside of the regular supply of farming stuff. So enchanting mats going to be a little bit higher than Legion. Everything else probably going to be a little bit cheaper than what Legion was. But yeah, really good cross-section and coverage of all the professions. Everybody's picking up some good stuff. Sponzo says, you know, gold cap is 9.9 million maximum for black market, or it's been more. That is the gold cap is the maximum you can bid, Sponzo. And as of Legion, if somebody's bid 9.6 million, in the past you used to have to bid 5% higher, but you can now bid just gold cap with whatever is already bid on the auction house, on the black market auction house. So you can instantly win an auction just by bidding gold cap. Has it been confirmed that only skinners will be able to get meats for cooking skill? It's not only skinners now, Cowlin. Skinners just get slightly more, I believe. You can scrap dungeon drops right now too, so I won't even be getting my friends trading me the gear they don't want for shards. Yeah, that is something people need to keep in mind. Everybody will have access to the scrapper, you don't need a profession for it. How do you deal with this alcoholic rush? I'm always having a bad time focusing on the tunes since there are so many useful professions and you can craft stuff for yourself. I think it's just a case of getting through it. It doesn't matter what you're playing as long as you're progressing on one or two of them. And then once you've finished one, you can move on to the next one. Which kind of leads us nicely onto the next section of the blog, which is routines. I believe routines are important in any project, whether it's a hobby or a work-related scenario. Gold making is certainly no different. If you set yourself up to follow a routine, you'll be much more likely to complete tasks and cover everything you intended to do without even realizing you're doing it more often than not. You get into a habit, as we discussed at the start of the stream, or get into a routine. You feel, I'm missing out on doing something because I've done it for the last 10 weeks, I've missed it, I need to do it, therefore you're much more inclined to actually do the task. So Lee Harper on the subreddit shared some of their thoughts on routines. They were interested to know what other people's routines are when it comes to gold making. A lot of people do have full-time jobs or are at school or have other obligations and responsibilities. However, you still obviously continue maximizing your gold making potential regardless of how much time you get to play. So as a newish goblin, Lee Harper was currently sitting on around 130,000 gold with around 500,000 gold worth of stuff on the auction house. And they wanted to share some of their routines and ask for other people's routines in the community. So Lee Harper, their routine, when they first log on, check the bank alt and check the mailbox, and tend to check if any of the other better items have been undercut. So immediately as they're logging in, they're doing either a cancel scan or repost of the high value stuff, like Battered Hilt, for example. Once they're done with the bank alt, been starting to build up transmog items, so I've been doing a few farms such as Zulfarak. Might be a good idea if you've always, or already rather, got other sources of revenue and other sources of income. I wouldn't suggest doing transmog farms if that's the first thing you're doing. Once I've done 10 instances, they'll usually go somewhere else, like an open world farm or Shadow Labs to do the semi-AFK monk farm. Once they've done that, they'll do a fair bit of gold making for the day, or once they've done a fair bit of gold making, sorry, they usually try to fit in an hour of PvP, which is kind of a break in pace, bit of a change of scenery. Try not to burn yourself out, or do a bit of PvE. And then once they've done a little bit of that, they'll go back to the beginning of the routine, check for undercuts, reposting, and then start managing their inventory. A lot of newer goblins are browsing the subreddit or part of the community, but they don't really know where to start, and from their experience they've tried a good few instances that they enjoy, like the farming and stuff, which is also leading into the last section of the blog today. And they hope to spark a little bit of discussion on the routines, which it definitely did. There's lots of interesting insights that people have been sharing. Hey, what's up, Skits? Hope you're doing well today. Happy Saturday to you. I'm curious, what are your priorities to finish until patch 8.0? Just leveling my professions basically. I've got mining to do next, and that's about it basically. But yeah, Beard Sprite, another redditor at the other end of the spectrum, doesn't really enjoy super duper structured play or routines and takes a bit of a different approach. Their routine is just to basically play the game. Most of the gold they make is generated that way, or when they do buy stuff, it merely isn't liquidated yet. When they have the time, they'll log through the alts and post auctions, but it isn't a daily routine, it's just as and when they have the time to do so. Sometimes they barely manage to log into them before the mail expires, which is certainly what happened to me over the last few weeks. As I started my new job, had other time priorities and obligations, and I was only really logging in to repost stuff while I was streaming. And before that I was obviously reposting several times a day. They don't have time to cancel and relist or farm. What doesn't sell will likely rise in price, so they're not all that worried about liquidating items. And I have the same opinion. I don't really enjoy farming to begin with, and I really wouldn't want to invest my time in farming. And I'm not worried about liquidating items in that I don't want to try and sell everything right now immediately at the cheapest price. I'm quite happy to be patient and even greedy and post my stuff for a higher price. And if it sells at a higher price, I'm quite happy to wait a little bit of extra time for that. Finishing off their kind of comment is they believe that you are not the contents of your wallet. As long as your net worth increases, everything is fine. Which again is something I always kind of try and teach you guys listening. It doesn't matter what you do to make gold, as long as the amount of gold that you have in your pocket is increasing, you're doing something right. And if you enjoy doing it as a priority, I think you're going to be much more inclined to continue doing that and be a bit more efficient with your gold making. This can also be a very important perspective. If you've signed yourself up for too much, i.e. all the professions, all the farms and all the flipping or sniping, you're going to run out of time. Basically, you can't really do everything all in one day. It doesn't matter if you don't get to everything, things can wait and things will still be there when you get back to that character or even the game as a whole. I'm sure you guys have heard me say quite a number of times now. It's good to take breaks sometimes, even if it's just from gold making, and do other things in the game. Or even from the game itself, and go and play something else, or just don't play games at all and divert your attention or focus to other things as and when it's required. You don't want to burn yourself out. And you certainly don't want to fret that you might be missing out on massive profits. There'll always be sales to make and deals to buy whenever you come back and play the game. Lowlife Luke, how's it going? Your question is, what's one aspect would you recommend for a moderate and steady income? Probably professions more often than not. It's whether it's current content or old school content, the amount of diversification you can have across all of your professions. It's lots of moderate steady income. You're not making massive profits on every single sale, but because you're selling quite a lot, it all starts to add up.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Do you think inflation's going up? Yeah, the game naturally has inflation. You can't really get around that. Unless Blizzard starts like implementing something directly to start doing a gold squish, which I don't think anybody will enjoy. You can't really get around that, or get away from that even. Puna says, does anyone remember the add-on that would track net gold for the day? It was just a little widget that would display the day's profits loss. Yeah, it's one by Max. It's not accountant. M4X gold tracker, gold counter maybe. I've just typed it in chat instead of searching for it, but you get the idea. It's M4X. He's got a few little lightweight add-ons. He's got some really nice stuff, and it's definitely one of those. Well, it's definitely by him at least. It's a misconception, says Roisin, to think that you can do everything you need in gold making. I tested by playing 24 hours, still had things to do after that. Yeah, there's always something else to do. Literally in gold making, once you feel like you've finished everything, there'll always be something else to do or something else you can do. I took a week-long break from all games while I was on vacation and it was great. I feel refreshed and more focused. Yeah, exactly, Sean. Even if you're not necessarily burnt out, it's good to take a little break, maybe a day or two off. Let your auctions be posted for 48 hours and let them expire, and come back and you're a little bit more refreshed and focused, as you said. Titan panel needs to have something. Yeah, I remember using Titan panel back in the day. Do you trade in real life? I do not, Magomar. It's something I'd like to get into, but never really took the plunge. I hope they come out with another currency or toy to throw gold at, platinum or titanium, or something that takes 100 gold, or a toy that eats your gold for bragging rights. Wow, a toy that eats your gold, that would be interesting. It's a discussion we've had in the past. Maybe we could talk about it again in early BFA. Breg had a great video talking about future of the currency in World of Warcraft, and whether it would make sense to have another currency like diamond or platinum or something. Anyway, just finishing off the routine section of the blog, Noman98 on Reddit has a little bit of a routine when hitting each of their servers, because they focus on trading and selling raid gear and battle pets. So whenever they log into a new server for the day, they scan for any deals, they cancel any auctions under 2 hours remaining, and then collect the mail, look at that sweet gold, any sales they've made. They restock their sold battle pets from their pet journal, they post everything and go to the next server. And you can do these 6 steps in probably 10-15 minutes, if that, maybe even 5 if you're using TSM. Get everything cancelled, reposted. In those kind of situations, I think Vadis, the battle pet trader, kind of summed it up nicely, is that you don't need to micromanage things at this level. If you're working across multiple servers, you don't need to be worried about being logged into each of those servers all the time and checking your auctions. You just do your daily routine, cancel, repost, purchase any deals you might have, and set and forget, because you're still going to make sales, and because you're doing it across so many different servers, again, that'll just add up to all of the different revenue that you can be making. Towards the start of this year, No Man98 got into flipping instead of crafting, and their profit has dramatically increased. So once you can comfortably get into flipping, they highly recommend it. They're not sure of numbers, as they're not home while they were writing the post on Reddit, but they probably went from being on one server making 5 to 10k profit per day to being on about 15 servers and making 60 to 70k profit per day, which is still a good number. A lot of servers, but 5 to 10 minutes for each server, daily routine, that's all it takes. You've got all the other time available to participate in anything else in the game. So, discussion points for this section. What are your guys' routines for gold making? Do you have a routine, or do you just generally do everything and feel like you never finish your task list or your to-do list? Do you feel like you should be doing more, or do you want to do more, even if you feel like you shouldn't be doing more? And have you ever felt like you're burning out on gold making or the game in general? What do you mean there's other things in the game? Yeah, maybe wrong audience for that routine. Is there any negative impact if I go into BFA with low level professions, fishing and cooking to make the new flasks, pots and food buffs? There's no negative impact in terms of doing current content, but you won't have access to any of the old school stuff. You'll have to opt in and level up and craft your old school content to get access to those skill points. I ended up ordering both the burger and the currywurst. Sounds good, Persephone. Hope you order enough for everybody. Pure Sugar doesn't have a routine, just do stuff that you feel like, that's fair enough. Donald says, always get overwhelmed, try to do too much and make very little gold. Yeah, I think that's the kind of trap that a lot of new gold makers make, or gold makers fall into, is that they try and do too much all at once and they don't take things slowly or focus on a small, manageable section of gold making. Because there's such a variety of things you could do to make gold in the game, in today's game, compared to in the past, it's kind of overwhelming to try and decide what to do and in which order to do them. If I get off my daily routine, I'm all messed up for the rest of the day. Yeah, exactly, Lady I'll know. Even a weekly routine, you'll think, what day is it? Kojak logs in every tune, auction house, post, repost, auto haul, Blood Sagaris, Garrison Mine, Garden. Wow, interesting you do the Garrison Mine and Garden as well. That's pretty time consuming.
I know a buyer when I see one.
We recently talked about how essential it is to get maxed on the professions. Yeah, so to get to 700 at least, you don't have to level stuff with the old expansion crafts. Best way to transition to battle pets would be Wii markets. I've been working with trade skill mats and made a nice profit. Now I have a larger goal, so I'm available. What would you recommend? I'd recommend waiting until BFA Concrete Pete. You're not going to have much return on investment if you start doing that kind of stuff today, as the expansion draws to a close. Game counters, your daily cooldowns, gold missions, fireman farm or monk solar farm sounds good to me. No garrisons in that list. Perkins got quite tired of PvE and PvE. So one of Breg's vids, gold challenges and dug right into gold making. Fantastic. Personally, I'm not missing doing any raiding myself. I stopped raiding in January. Definitely enjoying doing primarily gold making. Well, gold making exclusively at this point. Literally not doing any kind of PvE or P. I usually log in first trial characters that I've parked by some rares world bosses to check if they're up. Then my auction characters to cancel scan and post auctions. Check prices of some items as well, and prices of my stockpile items, if they're worth to sell now, and then just missions. That's kind of interesting that you kind of review your inventory quite frequently. A lot of people don't bother doing that. Really nice QTQ. You've always got a kind of a insight on what your inventory is worth, which is good. Sith Lords on 5 realms, over 1,000 posts per realm. Takes me forever to mailbox to repost. Hit that mailbox. I'd certainly suggest refining your inventory then, Sith Lord, as Rhaenys does. 1,000 items per server over 5 realms is a little time consuming. Brent blocks out times of the day to do certain things like farming ores, volatiles, with like 15 to 30 minute breaks in between. Get up and walk around, post auctions early in the AM every 48 hours. So I'd probably suggest moving some of your time around there, Brent. Instead of posting your auctions once every 48 hours, you could repost your auctions every 24 hours and farm a little bit less. If you're just leaving your stuff listed on the auction house, you're much more likely to be undercut and not make as many sales. So worth to get fish from old content for leveling, probably not pure sugar. Always do a cancel scan before logging out on every tune. Yeah, probably a good idea. Why would I sell Pure Rage Potion times 40 from Draenor for 242 gold each? Is there a class you can use it from a Mage Tower? I'm not sure, Roshin. I've sold a few of those recently as well though. I do the garrison mine and garden when I'm out of stuff, but it takes almost 2 weeks on doing it on every tune to gather enough mats for 100 days. Do tillers every day and my auction house posting, and then move on to do mythics and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting, a lot of people are actually still doing their tillers farm and gathering stuff from the garrison. It's not something I would personally find worth the time. I hope we'll see some open world gameplay once BFA launches every Saturday evening. Yeah, I'll be streaming every time I play once BFA launches, that's for sure. I'm gonna be like over streaming probably. Yeah, I'll be streaming whenever I'm playing the game basically. Cancel scan, post, do crafting cooldowns, craft missing items, adjust TSM settings, post, check for deals. That's essentially my routine whenever I am playing the game, LOW. Back to normal, yeah, every day in August. No, I don't think it'll be every day in August. But certainly be playing WoW a lot more. When is BFA out? August the 14th, the model. So, last section of the blog today is the farming compendium. Before we get started on this, as you guys have been saying, you farm a little bit. Another quick reminder that there is an active giveaway on the stream right now. If you are listening on the Wowhead homepage or the blog post itself, do feel free to click through and participate for your chance to win 30 days of WoW game time. Type the word goblin in my stream chat. It's not case sensitive, you can type it all in lowercase or all in capitals. But once you've typed the word goblin, make sure you follow the stream. If you're not following the stream, then the winner will be re-rolled to somebody else. But as I say, do feel free to click through and get involved and participate in the giveaway if you're listening on wowhead.com. We have a giveaway every Saturday as part of the weekly WoW economy wrap-up on Wowhead. And at the end of every month we also have a giveaway on the blog itself. Last month, or yeah, 2 weeks ago at the end of June, we had 90 days of game time, and I think at the end of July I might try and figure out something for collector's edition of Battle for Azeroth, like the physical box.
Potential customer.
So, final section here. In what has now become the most highly upvoted submission in the history of the WoW economy subreddit, Serms or Kerms, or Cherms, don't know how to pronounce that, has laid out a magnificent primer to farming in World of Warcraft. Some of these things you guys might actually do in your daily routines regarding parked characters and class trials and stuff. But it features dozens of farms that are now both new and old. It will be an excellent community resource for a long time to come. I'll be featuring the quick farms, which is probably around 10% of the overall post, because it is literally chock full of information. So if you quickly open the post itself on Reddit, you'll see all of the information here with 640 upvotes. It is, as I say, literally the most upvoted submission on the subreddit in the history of the subreddit. They first of all introduced some streamers and gold makers on Twitch and YouTube, including Student, Sharkin, Paral, Golden Roots, or Routes if they're in the US. We've got Eclipsu, Kitty Mau Mau, Spadey of course if she's still listening, Bregvids who we've mentioned earlier, and yours truly, Gumdrops, here at the bottom. So the section that I featured on the post itself on Wowhead is the quick farms, which is these first 5 featured, or 6 featured rather. But then if I continue scrolling, you'll see all of the other farms that has been featured here. As I keep scrolling, as I keep scrolling, as I keep scrolling, and I still keep scrolling, not strolling. We're strolling down the post, but I'm still scrolling, and we are still scrolling. And there's still more farms featured all the way down to the bottom here. So there's over probably 50 farms featured and highlighted with super duper helpful information on where to go, what to do, what to expect from the farm for you to investigate for your servers. So I'll pop a link to this in the chat if you guys want to check it out directly. Probably have to set up a command for this as well, because it is so damn good. Let me do that now before I forget. Farming Compendium on Reddit. There we go. How's it going, Muzzle Tough? I hope you're doing well today. Pantykins as well. Good to see you guys. So as I said, we're just featuring the first 5 quick farms, which are pretty good in and of themselves, but the rest of them will be just as good to investigate. The first one, of course, is Zul'Gurub. When you enter Zul'Gurub, you'll want to turn left and go towards the pond, and you'll find... oh, let me fix that real quick. NPC link is broken. Need to make sure that works. You're looking for the Hive Queen. Just close the brackets there. Refresh on this one. There we go. The Flora Wing Hive Queen. And loot the Hive Queen's honeycomb. And whenever this drops, you get 4 to 6 Twilight Jasmine, 4 to 6 Volatile Air, and 4 to 6 Volatile Life. And this is literally takes less than 60 seconds to zone into Zul'Gurub, get to the little elite mob, kill it, loot it, and then zone back out of Zul'Gurub and reset the instance. And you can do like an instance or 10 instance cap within 10 minutes. So you can always have an alt parked outside Zul'Gurub or class trial parked outside Zul'Gurub to be able to do this, which is really good. Or maybe not a class trial, they can't enter dungeons, can they? I don't utilise them, to be honest, so... You can add the turtle and Zul'Gurub to that farm and get earth as well, that's good. Adds like 30 seconds. Yeah, the turtle's not too far away, and earth is always good as well. Good going forward, the 3-year-old gave me a nasty call from daycare. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that as well, stuff. Here's to speedy recovery. Hey, what's up, Sonic and Shira? Gumdrops, how you guys doing? Happy Saturday to you. On the 10th run you can go and kill the mountain bosses, yeah, exactly. So the second farm featured is Tanaan Jungle from Warlords of Draenor. There's 3 rares in the Tanaan Jungle, and they each have a chance to drop toys. So Smash and Grab can drop the Crash and Trash and Mortar controller, Gondar can drop the Crash and Thrash and Cannon controller, and then Dracum can drop the Crash and Thrash and Roller controller. The drop rates for each of the toys is around 9%, just under 10%, and they have a decent price on a lot of different servers. Similarly, you can head to High Mall in Warlords of Draenor, and there's 3 rares in the uninstance version of High Mall, not inside the raid instance, but in the uninstance version of it. And these guys drop pets, so Gook can drop the Glittering Arcane Crystal, which is the Imperial Mana Fiend. And then Pug can drop the Warm Arcane Crystal, which is the Empowered Mana Fiend. Rookdug drops the Vibrating Arcane Crystal, which is the Energized Mana Fiend. And these again have a just slightly less than 10% drop rate and have decent prices on a lot of servers. Darkmoon Fair replica gear from the Darkmoon Fair. This is something we chatted about a couple of weeks ago when the Darkmoon Fair was coming up. It has actually been nerfed regarding class trials being able to follow this strategy of getting the Faded Treasure Map and getting a free 100 Darkmoon prize tickets. But yeah, getting 100 Darkmoon Daggermore to get the Faded Treasure Map, you get your 100 Darkmoon prize tickets and get some Darkmoon replica gear, which is the old vanilla dungeon transmog sets. So the price of these are probably going up slightly as the supply decreases when the class trial nerf was introduced. It's probably going to be a competitive market if you've got somebody on your server that does the replica transmog as their gold making strategy. They're probably going to feel pretty entitled to it because not many people do participate in this market. So be aware of being or having aggressive competition in this particular market. The fifth farm is Bastion Twilight. Did I copy and paste this wrong? Oh yeah, we skipped the big red ray gun. Why didn't that get featured? I'm sure it's in, I put it in the post. Oh yeah, here we go. Because I missed the what do you call it? The numbered list item. So if I refresh this, it should get added in again. There we go. So the big red ray gun toy in Dustswallow Marsh. This is a good one as well. It's a little bit harder because the mobs that are patrolling the island are actually level 110 and hit quite hard if you don't have a bit of a geared character. But the mob you want to kill is Dr. Weevil. He's on Alcaz Island in Dustswallow Marsh. He's inside the middle building on the second floor and he drops the big red ray gun toy, which has a decent price. You can consider using server hop to find this guy as well. The last farm, number 6, Bastion of Twilight Embersilk. We featured a video from Samadan in the past regarding this farm. It's a pretty straightforward farm. You just head into Bastion of Twilight, clear the first room of trash and loot all the greens, loot all the cloth and disenchant the greens for hypnotic dust. You can also use a potion of treasure finding to get extra stuff like your volatiles and pyrite ore and stuff like that. So I definitely highly encourage anyone to check out the full post, which I've now made a command for, which is !farms, a new farming compendium on WoW Economy. Over 50 different farms featured, both old and new. Hopefully be a resource for a long time to come. Discussion point for this final section: what are your guys' favourite farms? And will you be heading back to old world content after leveling in Battle for Azeroth for your gold making, for farming stuff? An interesting question: which was the first thing, or what was the first thing that you ever farmed in World of Warcraft? If you can remember what that was. Like, what was the first thing you thought, this is what I'm going to do to try and make some gold? Auction House is my favourite farm? Yeah, exactly, Jack. My first farm, Crimson Warbling. A farm's truly worth the time investment versus just playing the auction house? Probably a dumb question. It's not a dumb question at all, Donald. I think you do hit kind of a ceiling on your potential gold per hour with a farm. It can be exponentially higher at the auction house. But people enjoy farming, and that's what they'd prefer doing. They don't want to get involved in learning markets on the auction house, etc. Ghost I Know is my first farm, very nice Black Knights. Clefttooth Leather. Now, see, Clefttooth Leather is still pretty hard to come by on my server, so I wouldn't mind somebody farming that for me. Crimson Whelpling 2 Wolven Hunt. Got my Darkmoon Firewater and had that route unlocked, nice. First thing I ever farmed was a Twilight text back in vanilla for the opening of the AQ40 raid. Wow, that's back in the day. If I had to do manual work, then I would also always prefer boosting. That's fair enough, Miss Nugget. Favorite farm is the mailbox. Nice little bunnies.
You buy it.
I need mining to transmog craft. Blacksmithing, price is way too high on my server. Mining is a good compliment for blacksmithing, yes, for sure. I got a ticket for speeding and farmed ore while taking the Be a Better Driver class. Wow.
Hey, how you doing?
Probably not intended. Hey, what's up, Order? Hope you're doing well. Volatile Fire was my first farm, December 8th, 2010. Wow, fantastic that you remember the date as well. That's awesome. I think I was farming the basilisks in the Shimmering Flats and vendoring everything to get money for my level 40 mount back on Vanilla. Wow. How times have changed in terms of getting money for your mount, but not farming basilisks. That was still a thing even today in Legion. 8th roll was my first farm. So are you new to the game, Kojak, or are you just new to gold making? Because that is very recent. Moonsoul Crown, nice one, Mars Bar. Very first farm I did was fishing Deviate Fish for the Savory Deviate Supreme, nice. Started playing in Legion, oh yeah. Well, that certainly will be your first farm. So that about wraps up the Wowhead blog. Lots of interesting thoughts and insights from you guys, discussing the discussion points. Just a quick TLDR of the blog this week. 8.0 pre-patch will be arriving next week. Lots of changes, including professions. Various beta updates with the world quests rewarding less gold and the follower items rewarding less gold for completing a world quest, and the gold missions being removed. Don't forget to get your blacksmithing recipe from Nighthold. Lots of interesting insights on plans for Battle for Azeroth and what to focus on in terms of leveling and professions. Also some discussions on routines, what you do every day, every week for your gold making, or what you don't do, maybe more importantly, and what you could be doing instead. And finally, a farming compendium, which is the most upvoted submission in the history of the WoW economy subreddit, which has got over 50 different farms for you guys to investigate and check out. So there's a link to this in the chat if you'd like to go back and read through it again, or for the first time if you're just joining us. Blacksmithing pattern from Nighthold, what's that? It's the Fellhound Core mount, Fell Corehound mount. The green coloured Corehound that you can see on the bottom of the screen here. If I hide Firefox. These little guys here is what the mount looks like. And they require lots of blood, Sangaris. Yeah, the mount. When I win, hopefully there'll be fireworks IRL to celebrate it. Bastille Day, nice. So, as I say, that is the end of the Wowhead section, which now means that we have a giveaway to draw. We have 134 entries. If you have not entered yet, you can do so now by clicking through and joining my stream and type in the word goblin in my stream chat. Don't forget to follow the stream as well. If you do not follow, we will be re-rolling for another winner. There is a little bit of subscriber luck turned on to give you guys a little bit of an extra chance to win, who's been supporting the stream for a while now. But everybody is eligible. It's open to both EU and NA players. We'll be firing off a little code to redeem on the Blizzard store once we've selected the winner. So yeah, as I say, if you are listening on the Wowhead homepage or the blog post itself, I really do appreciate it. Feel free to click through and join the stream and participate. Say hello, say goblin. Let me know what's up. But yeah, 30 days of WoW game time up for grabs, as we have every Saturday, as part of the wowhead.com WoW Economy weekly wrap-up. Sub luck can't lose now, exactly, Robin. If there's a non-sub winner, we'll get a free sub from me. Are you going to do that again, Jack? That's very generous of you. But yeah, it could be a double winner if the winner for the game time does not have a subscription. Comes rigged. So So I'll give you guys a second to get involved. We'll do a scroll down the user list as well. Dip potato chip strikes again. Yeah, he tends to do that. So as we always do, we'll have a scroll down the list. If you do not see your name on this left hand side, then you are not eligible to win. Or if you do not see your name with a blue dot beside it, like Brent is not entered for the giveaway here. Concrete Pete is also not entered. Dreamcutter and Drithan have not entered for the giveaway yet either. Game Cats, you've just entered. Oh no, you haven't. You said something else, but you're more than welcome to join in. Halrain, Immortal Phoenix, you guys have chatted today, but you've not entered yet. Skits, if you're still there, you guys can join in too. Jimbo Fan, King Dex, Lady Elnor, I know you're still lurking. If you'd like to participate, got all these blue dots for your entries. Morgan, I know you're still listening. You can join in too. Norm Nasty, not like that. If you guys are still listening, you have joined the stream today, but have not entered the giveaway. PTH, Kezia, and Perkin, you guys are not eligible to win. Rekick. Who else we got here? Speaker, Sponso, you guys are not eligible if you would like to participate. Zionic and Shera, you guys can join in too. Do you feel like there was gold to be made in the last month of Legion, say through farms, or just wait till the 14th? Personally, I think the last month of Legion is more for personal investment. Get your levels on your characters and your professions, and just be ready for the expansion. Zerafina, you haven't joined in either, and Magoma has not participated for the giveaway. So 180 entries, 30 days of game time up for grabs. If you haven't joined in, last chance to participate. Do feel free to click through from the blog post or Wowhead if you're listening on the homepage. Come and type the word goblin and follow the stream. And we'll be picking a winner here in just a second. I'm here but in lurk mode, so much to do. It's all good, right? 1, 2. I've won, we have game time already. That's fair enough, Cat. Bags and glider kits will still sell well the last month, yeah. Bags is always a solid market. So, last chance now. I'm going to click roll it. Let's hope we don't have an AFK winner, and let's hope we have a winner that is following. So, good luck everybody. 3, 2, 1. It's Pody! Congrats, Pody. You've won yourself 30 days of game time. Been a long time follower and a long time subscriber. Rigged, yeah, it's always rigged. There's no two ways about it. But let's hope Pody isn't AFK. Give him a minute or two. Rip not gonna win lottery. Oh yeah, there he is. Congrats on winning your game time. Thanks for participating, and commiserations everybody else. I'll tell you what, since we have had almost 200 entries, this is probably the most we've had. And we've also got like 650 viewers, which is probably the most we've had on a Wowhead stream. Let's go ahead and roll for a second winner. So if you've already entered, you are still eligible to win. But I'm going to roll for a second winner.
Me.
Donald, coming in with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you so much for the support. Welcome to the Goblin Club. I see some Goblin emotes in the chat and some Gums Prime for Donald. Rig it for me. Yeah, we're going to do a second giveaway. 30 more days of game time up for grabs. So if you have not already entered, you can do so now. Just type the word goblin in the stream chat and follow the stream, of course, and we'll find winner number 2 this evening. What's up, Disviewer? Thanks for tuning in today. Task list is working for gathering now. Yes, it certainly is, Shira. I know it's you now. I've kind of been avoiding crafting over the last week or two, but it should all be working out. So we'll do another quick roll here for another winner. And we'll see who is winner number 2. How do you not know it was her when she said hi Gumdrops? Yeah, Zionic says that too though. But when she's talking about TSM, I know it's Shira. So 190 entries. I don't think we'll hit 200. Let's go ahead and click the roll up button again. Cody is still a winner, number 1, and we're going to find winner number 2 now. So 3, 2, 1. Soul Maestro. Congratulations, Soul Maestro. Did Soul Maestro say it was rigged? I'm sure he did. But congratulations, Soul Maestro. 30 days of WoW game time incoming to you too. Rigged, yeah. But thank you everybody for participating. We're going to be continuing the stream now and do my own auction house routines. And be focusing a little bit more on chat. Actually rigged. But yeah, good job guys not being AFK. That always helps. But just let me know which region you're on. I think you're both on NA, is that right? Soul Maestro, maybe you're on EU, I don't quite remember. But yeah, we'll be firing over 2 codes to redeem 30 days of game time for you both after the stream. New stream record, no AFK winners. Yeah, let's write this down for the history books, right one too. It's certainly a new thing for me, not having AFK winners. And what relation are you with Wowhead and TSM? So for Wowhead, I have my weekly blog. I'm a regular contributor, and for TSM, I'm the support manager. So I'm on the TSM team. I'm not a developer, but I am a support manager. I run all the support channels and stuff. History books, yeah, exactly, Balazar. So, Soul Maestro indeed EU. Hody, if you want to remind me where you are. You're on NA, I think, or you NA lull, implying that you're on EU. You're on EU, okay, good. 2 EU players, I'll make a note of that and send you over some codes after the stream. So, let's tidy up the stream here. Let's get rid of Firefox. Get rid of the giveaway banner. We'll update our giveaway command. And I'm going to type /marker in the chat so I can save this in my VOD. Update the command. Giveaway is concluded. Tune in next week for more game time giveaways. And then update the title.